Is morality a social construct? A biblical and secular examination. Listen, this is one of those questions that sound simple, but the deeper you go, the more it shakes everything you think you know. Is morality something universal, written into the fabric of reality itself? Or is it something humans created to keep society functioning? Is right and wrong real? Or is it just something we agreed on? Today we're going to explore morality as a social construct, looking at both the secular and biblical perspectives, along with the strengths and weaknesses of each view. By the end, you may realize this isn't just a philosophical debate. It's a question that affects how you live, how you judge, how you love, and how you hold people accountable. When people say morality is a social construct, they mean that right and wrong are not objectively real. They're created by societies shaped by culture, history, survival needs, power, and collective agreement. What is moral in one culture might be immoral in another. What was moral centuries ago may be immoral today. And what is moral today may be immoral centuries from now. From this perspective, morality evolves, it changes, it adapts, it is flexible, it is negotiated, and most importantly, it is human-made. Many secular thinkers argue morality developed as a survival mechanism. Early humans lived in tribes. Cooperation mattered. Trust mattered. Violence within the group weakened survival. So rules naturally emerged. Don't kill your own. Don't steal from your own. Protect the weak. Share resources. Punish betrayal. These weren't divine commands. They were practical necessities. Groups with rules survived better than groups without them. Over time, these rules became customs, customs became laws, and laws became moral codes. From this view, morality is not about absolute truth. It's about function. What works? What stabilizes society? What reduces chaos? What keeps people cooperating? And because societies differ, moral codes differ. That's why some cultures practice polygamy, some practice slavery, some practice human sacrifice, some honor revenge, and others honor forgiveness. If morality were truly universal, these differences wouldn't exist. There are real strengths to this view. First, it encourages tolerance. If morality is culturally shaped, it becomes harder to judge others as evil simply because they live differently. Second, it allows for moral progress. Societies can evolve. They can correct mistakes. They can expand rights. They can abolish injustices. Third, it emphasizes empathy. Instead of asking, "What law did you break?" it asks, "Why did you do this? What shaped you? What pressures exist?" Fourth, it fits well with modern science. We can study cooperation. We can observe how moral instincts form. In this framework, morality isn't sacred, it's adaptive, but cracks appear. If morality is purely a social construct, then there is no such thing as real right or wrong, only popular opinion. If enough people agree something is moral, it becomes moral. Slavery was moral until it wasn't. Genocide could be moral if enough people support it. Abuse could be moral if culture allows it. Exploitation could be moral if law permits it. This raises a question. If morality is just agreement, what makes something truly wrong? Not unpopular, not illegal, but actually wrong? Without an objective moral standard, you can't call something evil. You can only say you dislike it. That weakens moral outrage, justice, and accountability. It turns morality into preference. The biblical perspective takes a different approach. The Bible teaches that morality is revealed, not invented. Right and wrong are not decided by humans. They are grounded in God's nature. God is not just a rule maker. He is the standard. Truth is not voted on. Justice is not negotiated. Goodness is not flexible. Moral law exists whether humans acknowledge it or not. Just like gravity doesn't need your permission, moral law doesn't either. The Bible warns against moral relativism. In Judges, it says, everyone did what was right in their own eyes. That's not praise, it's a warning. When humans define morality themselves, chaos follows, oppression follows, violence follows. Without a higher moral authority, humans will bend morality to serve power, desire, or convenience. One strength of this view is moral clarity. Some things are wrong no matter who does them. Some things are evil no matter how popular. Some things are sacred no matter how inconvenient. This gives victims a voice. It allows you to say, that was wrong even if everyone approved. That was evil even if it was legal. That was unjust even if it benefited the majority. Another strength is accountability. If morality comes from God, no one is above it, not kings, governments, cultures, or crowds. This creates a foundation for justice that does not shift with opinion. But the biblical view has challenges. People disagree on interpretation, on what applies today versus ancient contexts. History shows misuse. God's name has been used to justify slavery, war, abuse, and oppression. Finally, it assumes faith. If someone rejects God, they reject this moral foundation, leading to a clash of worldviews. Here's the core conflict. The secular view says morality comes from humans. The biblical view says it comes from God. One says morality evolves. The other says it is revealed. One says morality is flexible. The other says it is fixed. One says morality is negotiated. The other says it is absolute. Your view of morality shapes how you see justice, crime, forgiveness, guilt, responsibility, and human worth. If morality is a social construct, then no one is truly evil, only misunderstood. No one is truly guilty, only conditioned. No action is objectively wrong, only culturally disapproved. Punishment becomes rehabilitation. Sin becomes trauma. Evil becomes misalignment. This can lead to compassion, but it can also erase accountability. If morality is God-given, humans have inherent worth. Good and evil are real. Justice matters. Actions carry weight. But it also demands humility, obedience, and submission to something higher than personal desire. Here's the uncomfortable truth. We all live as if morality is real. Even those who call it a social construct still get angry at injustice. They still feel outrage. They still say, that's wrong. And that shows something deep. If morality were only agreement, moral outrage wouldn't exist. It would only be disagreement. Yet we recognize evil. We feel injustice. That sense of this should not happen points to something deeper than social rules. So here's the question. If morality is just a social construct, why does injustice feel so real? Why does evil feel so wrong? Why do humans across time and cultures share the same core moral values? Maybe morality isn't something we invented. Maybe it's something we recognized. Maybe it isn't written by culture. Maybe it's written on the soul. Let it sink in. Replay. Like, follow, and subscribe.